my family moved across the country, we sold almost everything to make it happen. Relocating from the wine country of Southern California to the upstate of South Carolina meant rebuilding our home, one thrift store find at a time. I'm a writer, speaker, published author, and now the owner of Carolina & Country, selling uniquely designed and thoughtfully handcrafted goods to customers coast to coast. Hi friends, I'm your host, Christine Chappell, and I'd like to invite you into the Carolina & Country workshop, where the trial and error of upcycled design takes place. Watch the process from start to finish, from thrift store find to home decor treasure and all the messiness in between. I am no expert. I'm just a married mother of 3 trying to live that upcycled life. I just got back from the thrift store and I found a metal basket. Pretty large size, only a couple of dollars. Definitely needs some love. It's pretty contemporary looking in style. It does have some rusty spots on it that I want to address, but other than that, I don't have a really clear vision as to exactly how I want to rehab this piece. But for $2, can't really go wrong. Wouldn't it be thrifty to make a basket liner from an old shirt? I mean, I did skim a Pinterest tutorial a few months back. Measurements? No, you know, I really like to freehand my fabric designs. Create first, measure later. Just sounds really nice and organic. Wait, what? That is not how the fabric is supposed to look. I'm going to spare you the hours of video I took trying to fix this error. You know, when you have a really exciting plan in your head and then it totally blows up in your face, it feels a lot like... As much as I love upcycling things, I really don't like the part where I have to just walk away from the project. I think it's really easy to find joy in doing things, whatever it is, when it's going according to your plan and your vision. But when you're following your vision and things are not working out, it's really difficult to have joy in those moments. I think I personally need a reminder about joy to overcome some of this frustration that I have. So why don't we go ahead, take a breather, and hop over to this episode's Upcycled Minute with Kara-Kae James, the executive director of Thrive Moms. She's got a really encouraging word for us, and I think probably something I need to hear right now as well. So let's take a listen to what she has to say.
Hi there, my name is Kara-Kae, and I'm so excited to encourage you a bit today. I want to talk about finding joy in hard times. I know that can seem a little crazy because when you're facing hard times, the last thing on your mind is joy. I'm a mom to 4 kids, and most of our days are complete chaos and craziness. And a lot of times there's very little joy. And when I look at God's word in James chapter 1, he tells us to consider all things joy when we face any kind of trial. And that always leaves me kind of struck. How can I consider all things joy? But the good part is to come. In verse 12, he tells us, blessed is the one who endures trials, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. He has a crown of life for us, you guys, and that is worth enduring and taking this ugly, messy life and turning it into something beautiful for him.
We are on day 2 of the project and totally changing the design, and so we're here at the hardware lumber store to try to figure out how we're going to accomplish the new design that I put together for this. We're all together, family activity. Okay, so yesterday was pretty rough because I had a vision in my head and I couldn't make it come together. I had some errors with the fabric cuts, and although I could see it in my mind, a lot of times getting it to be executed in the way that you can imagine it doesn't always work out. So I slept on it. We went to Home Depot this morning and I have a new plan. This new plan requires power tools. Yes! I've got my miter saw all set up to cut the wood boards and I'm ready to go. Cutting wood is oddly satisfying, isn't it? I mean, until the part when the saw blade doesn't go down all the way through the wood, and then it's just plain confusing. And that is not satisfying. Good thing I've got insanely strong arms from carrying around 3 kids for the last 11 years. It's all right. I'll redeem my power tool skills by using sheer strength to get these screws into the wood base I'm building. Especially since the only power screwdriver I could find was the one with no guts. Time to add some feet to this base, and you will not believe what I found to use. These are wooden candlestick holders from my local craft store, and you know I rocked that 40% off coupon to get a set of 6 for under $3. Just add some pre-drilled holes and some wood glue, and these puppies screwed right onto the base just like a glove. I'm confident this new design is really going to work this time. Before I get a second coat of paint on this basket, I've got to see these 2 pieces together. And it looks like I'm going to need to cut off the feet of the basket to get the fit that I want on the base. Thank you, husband, for running to the tool store. It may not come across on my camera, but the sparks really look something like this. Nothing makes you feel more like the next Bob Vila than when you're cutting metal. Okay, so I know I said I don't like doing measurements, but I really want to grow in my ability to build things from scratch. So I did look up a Pinterest tutorial for making great miter cuts for trim and molding, and I did follow the instructions step by step. Hey, I figure it isn't going to hurt to use some wood glue along with my finishing nails for this trim. And it is so encouraging when the pieces fit together so nicely. But look, I told you I'm not an expert. I realize there are better ways to hammer these stinking tiny finishing nails into the wood. A nail gun, for instance. But for now, I'll just let you laugh at my poorly equipped setup in the workshop. I'm using my awl to countersink these nails into the wood. A nail gun would have probably made this a lot easier. And yes, I am currently praying for a tool sponsor. Sweet! Wood filler time! Can you really go wrong with applying this stuff? Finally, something that doesn't require a whole lot of precision, but makes a really big difference to this piece. I'm so excited today because I finally get to join the 2 pieces that I've been working on together, the basket and the base. I went ahead and made an insert for the basket that is wrapped in a similar color as the metal that I spray painted. So it matches really well. I can't wait to see it all come together. Now I need to go grab some tools and get these brackets attached to the wood base. Okay, so I just finished the brackets, putting in my foam board liner there, and I think it's done. I love how this turned out. Although I'm really happy with how the basket turned out, I'd be lying if I said there weren't a few points in the process where I felt really discouraged with my choices. Oftentimes, finding joy in the middle of hard circumstances requires that we surrender our plans to the Lord and follow His leading instead. I am so thankful for the encouragements we received from Kara-Kae at Thrive Moms. It came at just the right point in the process where I really needed to refocus. If you find yourself in a difficult or challenging season, take heart and know that joy is on the way. With a little bit of faith and a whole lot of courage, you too can live that upcycled life. I hope you enjoyed watching today's episode, and be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you are notified when new episodes come out. And I cannot even see if I'm in focus, which is the hard part about trying to do this yourself. And that doesn't help.